everyone. This is Miss Rosy from the Scott County Public Library, and today I'm coming to you with a tween craft. We're going to be exploring the cut paper work of artist Henry Matisse. Now, Matisse was a painter and a sculptor and a cut paper collage an artist. He died in 1954, which is about 70 years ago or so, and he was an artist in the Impressionism and Modernism movements. So today we're going to be talking about Matisse, and I've brought along a great picture of Matisse. Here he is right here. He was wheelchair bound at the end of his life, and he had some assistants that helped him make his giant cut paper artworks. And so here you see him cutting with some of his assistants working on a giant artwork on the wall behind him. Now, if you look at it, you'll see it is very organic in shape. They almost remind me of sea anemones or corals that grow in coral reefs. They're very colorful and have lots of movement in them. And so there's no straight edges. There's no wrong way to cut the shapes. They're just beautiful organic shapes that are free form that he did just using scissors and big pieces of paper. So what I've done today is I've come up with some couple of different things we could do. Now, in using these exact same shapes, I cut out a whole bunch of them and glued them all together. And I made this crazy tree shape and some three-piece shapes, and I've just glued them all together. Now, what I did was I made 4 or 5 sheets of paper and I cut the same shape in 3 different colors. So that is my first one that I made. And now a friend of mine said I should have used blue papers because then I could fold this together and make it into a crown, and it looks like a mermaid crown, like a coral reef crown that a mermaid would wear. So if it was blue and had some glitter on it, maybe some seashells glued to it, that would look pretty cool if you had a mermaid costume and you wanted to make a beautiful mermaid crown. So that is one thing that you could do today with your cut paper shapes. Another thing Matisse was really big on was symmetry and playing with symmetry. So here you see I did a sample, and this shape and this shape were cut out of the same shape, but 2 different colors of paper. And I've placed them opposite each other. Same with these 2 objects and these 2 objects. And you can hang your work any way you want. And they're really a cool way to just explore pattern, color, and symmetry. So if you fold it in half, you can see that they are symmetrical. All right. Another great thing I found online, if you do a search online for Matisse coloring sheets, this coloring sheet came up and it shows all the different patterns that he used in a lot of his cut paper art, swirls and diamonds, circles, and those organic shapes. And this one is a color by number. So that was a great find that I found today. So there's lots of different shapes, including circles and squares, that you can use. Now, one other thing I found about Matisse is look at those shapes, and then they were put over a balloon and they were Mod Podged. So they were kind of glued together in that round balloon shape. They pop the balloon and they have a bowl. So if you were to make something with these shapes, and instead of gluing them together like a crown, glued them over a balloon, you can get a bowl shape. And this is an egg shape that he was famous for as well. So really great ideas that you can make a birthday card with it. You can do some sort of a symmetry experiment with it. And I've started a new one. And of course you will need, as always, your pile of leftover construction paper pieces. Got all sorts of different colors, reds and greens and grays and blues and blacks. And your scissors. So you'll need your scissors to do some cutting, and some glue and some paper to glue it on. So I used some black construction paper here in the background, and I've just started this other one here, and this one is on a blue piece of paper, and I made this kind of crazy shape kind of modeled on my hand, and I found this apple shape somewhere, so I made a few more of those. Could you imagine just putting 2 seeds there? It would look like a half of an apple. And so I have cut out another one of this shape and in a different piece of colored paper, and I thought it would look good if I did a symmetry experiment upside down. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that one on to show you how that looks. We'll just do a little bit of glue here and get that stuck on. And so there is my other one. And of course, when I was cutting out these shapes, you'll see that I had this piece left over from in here. And Matisse was really good at using his leftover pieces to make even more pieces. So here is this little shark tooth shape, and I thought, well, hey, maybe I should put the shark tooth shape over here. And on the black one, I have the shark tooth shape left over from the pink side, and I'll put that one over here when I glue it down. So those were some of my ideas. And now remember, there's no right or wrong way to cut your pieces of paper, but what I do suggest is to take 2 pieces of paper that are roughly about the same size. So here I have a red and a yellow, and there's some scraps left over. They're about the same size. And just look at the shape and see where you can put your crazy shapes on it. And just take your scissor and just really organically cut out a shape that might look like something you might find on the bottom of the sea. Some sort of coral reef shape. It could be very crazy. It could be very large. It could be small and large. Maybe this one's going to have 3 parts on it. So here I go. Make a 3-part shape, and perfect. There we go. My 3-part shape. And because I did 2 pieces of paper at once, I have 2 of them. And if I wanted to glue them down and experiment with symmetry, I can glue it down this way. And then of course, all the parts that I have left over in that shape can also become part of my design. So I hope that you can take some inspiration from some of the pieces that I have made today and some of the ones that I have finished, and my crazy, what my coworkers called my mermaid crown. And I've literally just used regular glue, some tacky glue, Elmer's glue, and glued the pieces together in different parts. And that's all I did, and glue it together. You can have a fun time using up all your scrap paper and construction paper around the house to make some fun designs. And once again, you can look online and see more work by Henry Matisse that you can copy and emulate. And of course, if you do have some Mod Podge at home and want to experiment, it's almost like paper macheing over a balloon, but you can do a really cool sculptural piece like this with your crazy cutout shapes as well. So I hope you enjoyed this idea for a craft from me, and that you take some colored paper and experiment today with your Matisse cut paper work. If you have some great creations and you want to show them to me, please take a picture of them and shoot me in an email your great creations at roseanne@scottpublib.org. And for more great virtual programs, please check back on our website, www.scottpublib.org, and check us out on Facebook for our virtual programming, and YouTube and Instagram. We're so glad you can join us virtually, and we hope that you join us for more programs. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you at the library. Take care, everybody.